Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your Masters of Ceremony, David Maddy and Rhonda Bunn.
TV. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Woo! Excellent. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is David Maddy. It is my honor and pleasure to be your event chair for the next couple days, and we're going to get everyone kicked off. I'm joined here this morning with Rhonda.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rhonda Bunn. I am the Chief Information Security Officer and Assistant Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Public and Business Service Delivery in the Cybersecurity Division at the Ontario Government. And if anyone has a longer title than that, please raise your hand. So, we are going to start off. If you are able to, please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
Let's go, Canada! Woohoo! Okay, now before we begin, I would like to start by acknowledging that Richmond Hill is situated on the lands covered by Treaty 13 and the Williams Treaties. For thousands of years, Richmond Hill has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work and gather on this land. Thank you.
So, to open our forum session, I'm honored to introduce you to Mayor Tom Marakis. Mayor Marakis is currently serving in his first term as mayor for the town of Aurora and the town representative for York Regional Council. Prior to being elected mayor, he served as councillor from 2014 to 2018. Before entering politics, Mayor Marakis ran his own small business and has firsthand experience with the challenges that face businesses today and recognizes the important contributions small business make in our local economy. Mayor Marakis is recognized provincially and nationally for his work on the Ontario Municipal Board and served as chair of the OMB Working Group and Planning Committee. More recently, Mayor Marakis spearheaded the creation of the Small Urban GTHA Mayors, comprised of mayors from municipalities with populations of 100,000 or less. The group meets regularly to discuss issues relevant to small urban communities and provides a platform to provide a collective voice on issues important to their communities. Mayor Marakis is committed to actively engaging the community in identifying priority issues and working collaboratively with colleagues to implement solutions to those issues. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Marakis to the stage. Do we leave? Did we leave the same way? Great, thank you.
Okay, it is on, yes. Good morning, and thank you, Rhonda and David, for that introduction, and for inviting me to bring greetings to kick off another exciting event in the world of cybersecurity. Today marks my third opportunity to greet and welcome distinguished guests to another world-class CyberX event. And it is because of the great work of the extraordinary advisory panel from across Canada that we are here today. And what an exciting lineup of speakers and workshops you all have in store over the next 2 days, including powerful insights from the greatest minds in cybersecurity, and of course, a motivational session with a Leafs legend. The reality is that conferences like CISO that bring together the brightest minds in cybersecurity are becoming more and more important every day for both private industry and public sector institutions. Early on, for example, when we first began to understand the magnitude of the pandemic, as a mayor, my first order of business was securing the town's assets, from its people to infrastructure to facilities, and of course, systems and data. And from there, we also had to ensure residents could continue their daily routines exclusively from their homes, quickly and safely and cost-effectively. This provided another set of challenges. Children and seniors were isolated from peers except by technology. Schools in rural areas were unprepared for mass deployment of technology, and data and security protocols were not standardized across industries. And even as we emerged from the pandemic, every day we are hearing of data breaches or cyber attacks on small businesses. Now, these are the same small businesses that are just starting to recover from shutdowns, COVID protocols, and nationwide talent shortages. This is the reason I'm keenly interested in connecting with the industry-leading experts that are in this room today. With your expertise, we can continue to strive to move forward and emerge even stronger. For the town of Aurora and many other towns and cities across Canada, this means having the information, tools, and resources to deploy cutting-edge security strategies and tactics. And this is not just for municipalities. We need to ensure that our residents, businesses, and organizations are aware of new risks, new protocols, and new ways to protect information and infrastructure. And we can do this by leveraging the expertise from events like this forum. And we can network to advance awareness in cybersecurity and build a talent pipeline that is critical for our future and safety and security. As part of the town's strategy for the future, we are looking beyond our immediate needs and planning for our future needs. What will our staff need to do their jobs in 10 or 20 years from now? What staffing will be required to keep our data and hard infrastructure secure? Where will we find talent? Can we home grow our technical talent right here in Canada, or even closer to home, right here in York Region? I'm confident that the discussions on these key questions and many more are awaiting us over the next 2 days during this event. On that note, I would like to once again welcome you to this forum today. And before signing off, I'd like to thank and recognize the many volunteers from Seneca College, Durham College, Algoma University, as well as our hosts, the CyberX team, and the City of Richmond Hill. I appreciate your time and for allowing me to share my thoughts. Please enjoy the forum, everyone. Thank you very much.
Hello again. Am I on? Testing? There we go. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. As we kick off the next 2 days, I just first wanted to talk a little bit about all the hard work that all the CyberX folks you see running around, as well as the advisory board. In the advisory board, we kicked off the planning of this forum last summer. We met every couple weeks. We talked about all of the pressing issues that security leaders should know about, the talk tracks, who we should invite to the conference to speak. And really the spirit was to help you get better at your jobs so that you know what you're doing, right? So we've got a variety of sessions throughout the next 2 days. Take a look at the content, take a look at the agendas. We really went through that to make sure it aligns with the top issues that many of you deal with. And on top of that, we do have closed roundtables where the idea is that you can talk to each other, share stories. I know in advising hundreds of CISOs around the world, when you network and you communicate with each other, you can really short-circuit things like, vendor stack ranking or different types of approaches. By talking to your network, you can really get that across. So the last thing I really want to impart on all of you is to make sure when you're here to network as much as you can. Try to shake people's hands if that's your thing, but just connect with people. And LinkedIn is a great place just to connect with folks and continue that on. Now, as we talked about the agenda, we couldn't have done it if it wasn't for an amazing group of CISO advisors and security leaders. And the first I just want to acknowledge is one of my good friends, and he actually ends up being a neighbor, which is a blessing and a curse, I guess, because our significant others really hate it when we get together and we start complaining about security issues. But that's why we're here. George, I'd like to introduce the audience to George, and George, why don't you take it from here?
Thanks, brother. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CISO Forum 2023. Thank you to my good friend David. Thank you, Rhonda, who I've had the pleasure of meeting this weekend as we just begun. David is correct. We are neighbors. We, in fact, came up with a really cool RSA talk over a ton of mezcal that definitely didn't get accepted. But that's okay. That's okay. We're still friends. We're still good. But no, seriously, coming together at CyberX, at first, you see a lot of people pushing different things on LinkedIn, on different social medias. You don't really know what's legitimate. There seems to be these social gatherings for executives every other week. And how do you know these organizations have any sort of actual substance or background to them? The difference in this organization is everyone in this room. It's the people. It's how we all got together. These relationships, which hopefully should be organic, and there's usually some sales behind a lot of these things that motivate this, although the CyberX team has done a very good job of making this a practitioner-safe event, outside of our lovely sponsors, of course. But you're here to learn and you're here to connect with fellow practitioners that you probably might not have had any other chance to meet, from a diverse range of sectors all across not only the province, but across the country. As a security leader, as an IT leader, it is important to build this network, not just for your next job or if you have to bail out of something currently, but for the fact that there are people who are coming up with innovative solutions to problems that are changing every single day. And you need to have constant, we'll say, inputs from those diverse range of folks to give you ideas that could help you in your own network environments. I like to surround myself with people who are a lot smarter than me, which, if you look at me, not that hard, but something I do intentionally do. If you surround yourself with talented, hungry, ambitious people, like the kind of people that you'll meet at CyberX, then you will be setting yourself up for long-term career success. This organization, this whole movement post-COVID, by the way, it's good to see you all in person. It started off as a small, we'll say a ball of snow, started rolling down a hill. We are now at the point that it's built up to an avalanche, ready to redefine the digital security and infrastructure industry in this country. We are at the precipice of this movement, this room. It is our responsibility, therefore, to connect, to build the relationships, and to keep this thing moving forward. Now, a big indicator that we've actually built some real momentum in this movement is the fact that there is now a real partnership with the public sector, right? So now the government of Ontario, through our dear friend I'm going to introduce right now, Ms. Rhonda Bunn, they are now involved and they are at the table. I'd like everyone to put their hands together and say hello to my friend Rhonda, who's going to come say hi to you.
Awesome. Well, good morning again, and thank you for that introduction. I totally agree this is a great opportunity for a partnership with industry and government to come together. And, if I think of my role now, I have had many roles in both private and public sector, and I'd say this one is definitely the most exciting and most challenging role that I've had thus far. And when I started this as a CIO in 2011, there were barriers that either I perceived or thought were there. So I thought I had to have actually short hair and dye it brown so I could look older and more mature. And so I went ahead and did that. And then I walked back into work and people went, wow, you look really young with your hair like that. So totally did not get what I was looking for. But what it showed me was to reach out to those mentors that can really help you progress and get over those barriers that are, that either exist or that you think exist. And I think we have a great opportunity, and this group does, to really engage and get the younger workforce involved in cybersecurity. We know there's a huge shortage of cybersecurity talent that exists not just in the country, but in the world. And so we have an opportunity to mentor them and bring them in and let them know that it isn't about your hair color. I think I was told I should always wear a black suit, so maybe I'm just a bit of a rebel, but it isn't about that suit that you wear or your hair color. It's about getting those people involved and letting them know there's different opportunities within cyber. I think, I don't know if any of you have seen that, the Did You Knows. I know they've been around for years and they keep revamping them, but the one thing that really resonated with me was, someone starting out in first year, by the time they graduate in fourth year from technology, everything they learned in first year is obsolete. And now you actually layer on cyber, and cyber is changing faster than we can keep up with. So I think if I leave anyone with things today, it's just really engage and embrace and be a mentor for someone that's either younger or someone that's just getting into the cyber field, because we need them, but it's a great place to really connect. And I'm looking forward to reaching out and meeting many of you throughout the next 2 days. It is an amazing lineup, and the speakers are just incredible. So enjoy the next couple of days of the conference. And thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, George. Thank you, Rhonda.